everyone. This is Nancy Rebecca with Intuitive Mind, and this week I am talking about a new surge of creative renaissance. Kind of this resurgence of the creative renaissance is happening on the earth right now, and we're going to be seeing it build up over the next 3 years. I'm super excited about it. I thought I would just wear this extra color today because that's what I see with creative energy, is that it adds so much color to the world. So for those that who don't know me, so my name is Nancy. I am a registered nurse. However, for the past 25 years, I had a kind of sudden psychic awakening 25 years ago. I became suddenly sighted, meaning that I can see the world, both worlds at the same time, the physical world and the spiritual world at the same time. But because I'm a registered nurse, what I really wanted to know was, how does our energy field impact our mental health? How is our energy field impacted by our physical health, our emotional health? Why are we so spiritually kind of disconnected? How does cancer impact the body? How does how does a common cold impact the body? Why do we have high blood pressure or high blood sugars, diabetes? So there's just a variety of health things I was really interested in. And so I just started studying the human energy field. And so that's what I talk about a lot, is about just how dynamic our human energy field is. And one of those energies that really helps to really uplift us, to bring us greater health, whether it's physical, emotional, mental, or spiritual, is creative energy. And I've made videos before about where the creative energy is kind of housed in the second chakra, and then it flows throughout our whole body. But in this particular video, I want to talk about this creative renaissance that the spirit world is super excited about, that really wants us to know. Is knowing it going to really kind of change the outcome of this creative renaissance? Not really. It's going to happen. People are going to think it was their own idea. Suddenly you're going to wake up tomorrow and you're going to go, I think I'm going to go to the art store and get a canvas and some paints, or I think I'm going to learn how to bake pies or breads, or I think I'm going to learn how to build car engines. And so you just think, I don't know why suddenly I have this interest, but I do. This is what this kind of surge of creativity is. My father always says, if you want to know where we're going, all you need to do is know where we have been, know our history. So when I heard this, I went back and I looked up creative renaissance. And the creative renaissance that is quite famous was the one that happened in the 1300s. So I invite you to go look up what the creative renaissance was about. But I wanted to look at a little bit more detail around it, because if it's happened before and it's happening now, there's going to be some similarities. So these were the similarities that I thought were quite fascinating. One was that the creative renaissance happened after a period of time that was kind of called the Dark Ages. And then this period of time where it was just kind of rough. Everybody was kind of having a rough time. There was also a time where everybody was sick. There was a pandemic. People were, the water was bad. And so people were dying, and people were having to kind of move away from the cities where there was a concentration of this illness that was rapidly spreading throughout. So it was a really hard time. It was a hard time religiously. It was a hard time in the financial system, in the education system, and definitely power struggles in the political system. Does this all sound familiar? And then what happened was, after the creative renaissance, the surge started happening. There was a lot of money that started coming into the arts. So, and it was requested that people create music that brought in hope, created paintings that were hope-filled, that gave people who had just come through this long period of time of depression to kind of have hope for the future again and hope for our world. And so there was this enormous surgence of theater, poetry, writing of books, new music being composed, and of course an incredible number of paintings that were created. But creativity is not just simply for the arts. Creativity, I talk about my son who who works in construction, and he really helps kind of lay the foundation and kind of dig holes and lay pipes, and the grading has to be just right. And you have to be able to kind of see the big picture when you're putting in these big buildings, whether it's hospitals or I live up here in the Pacific Northwest, so we have Amazon up here, we have Starbucks, we have Microsoft, so we have a lot of these huge businesses up here. So he needs to use a lot of creativity to do that. Or my daughter who works in the kind of restaurant bar business, who's able to know what her clients like and be able to make the foods or make the drinks, know when the vibe is dropping, and be able to kind of use her creativity to get the vibe back up in the restaurant. So there's a lot of creativity that has happened there. Or for me as a nurse, I used a lot of creativity when working with my patients to keep them healthy. So there's lots of ways to use creativity. My own teacher, Mary Ellen Flora, in her book, in her Earth book, she talks about creativity and about how women were, spirits were born in female bodies because women in it want to work more with creativity, because you can create life in your body. You can actually create human form. But there's a lot of men who are very creative, like Dale Chihuly. Dale Chihuly is from Tacoma, Washington. If you're not familiar with him, a famous glass artist, look him up. He's absolutely incredible. When I watched this kind of documentary, this surge of creativity just would flow through him. So, but creativity we need to manifest in human form, manifest in physical form. We need to take spiritual energy, blend it with our dreams and desires, bathe it in this creative energy to be able to then manifest it into our lives, whether it's our house, our cars, our jobs, anyway, all kinds of kind of physical manifesting things. So why are we experiencing a surge now? Well, when the surge happened in the 1300s, the financial system smoothed out and became more resilient and kind of bounced back. There was this kind of resilience of finances. There was the political system stabilized. People started to be able to work together better. All this with this creative surge really helped stabilize the political system. The educational system really ramped up. Higher levels of education was being offered to more people. Libraries, huge libraries started opening their doors because there were so many writers. So there was just a lot of stability that happened in society. So energetically, as spiritual beings, I talk about this kind of, it's not a new earth, it's a new way of seeing things. And right now, we can't really keep looking at what's broken. That's not working for us. What's broken? We can't be pointing the finger and saying, you did this, this is a mess, you created this. It's like, where are we going? Where do we want a vision going in our future? How do we want to take advantage of this surge? So as a clairvoyant, when I was kind of meditating and this information came to me, I live in the United States, and so this is what I was shown. It was almost like this volcano right in the middle of the United States. There was this gigantic kind of burst through the top of this volcano of this lava of creativity, and it started just kind of bubbling around 360 degrees, spreading throughout the United States. And when it said it was okay, that's that kind of creative surge, and it's just soaking into the land. And wow, can we need it. We need it right now. And so I was excited, and that's why I wanted to share this with you. So what can we expect? What's happening is the creative flow is flowing throughout. We are going to see some incredible music coming out of this. Incredible plays, incredible dances, incredible poetry, and comedians on stage, and new artwork that's coming. But even in the sciences, we're going to see new scientific discoveries, new ways of thinking. So let's just talk about quantum healing energy. That's where we're going. I've worked for 25 years. There's been a lot of reluctance to even admit that you're intuitive. There's been a huge fear to think that you might even have psychic ability, and you just kind of stuffed it down somewhere. I'm working with a lot of young students right now that are in their 30s, and they just don't have that baggage. They just don't even go there. They're like, yeah, I'm psychic. Yeah, I'm intuitive. Yeah, I'm noticing this. And they've got their eye on the pulse of everything. And so they're really leading the way with this kind of new spiritual way of seeing the world. So I invite you to really sit down and write down on paper, how do you want to see your life? Just focus on your life for the next 3 years. What do you want to create? What do you want to manifest? No matter how impossible it seems, no matter how unreachable it seems, because we are living in a new day. We are living in a new month. We are living in a new year. We have come through what I say the birth canal, the labor pains, and now we're here. We've arrived. So how do we want to grow into where we're going? And then once you kind of really lay that out for yourself, help your family lay it out. Help your kids lay it out. Get together with friends, maybe just virtually on Zoom, and talk about how do we want to vision our community moving forward. And then the world. How do we want to vision our world moving forward? So I am excited about this time moving forward, and I'm more excited about this creative renaissance than I have been about a lot of things. And so, so I just wanted to get on this video today and share this with you. Join together with me and with everybody else to let's start adding a lot of color back into our lives, because we've seen a lot of gray days, and we need that color. So pop onto my website, intuitivemind.org. Again, I've got my old website's 10 years old, so I'm saying much gratitude to my old website, but I'm super excited about the new one that's coming up. Also, I do Facebook Live on my Intuitive Mind Facebook business page every single week on Thursday mornings at 7 a.m. I'm also making these videos. I also write a blog, and then check out all of our classes. But please get on my mailing list. When you visit my site, you'll see right there your ability to kind of put in your email, and you'll be able to get the weekly blogs, get the weekly videos, see all the new things that we're doing. Because during this creative time, intuitive psychic development, it's out of the closet. It's organic, it's natural, and our younger people are owning it, and it's paving the way for us kind of in our older generation to embrace it as well. So I welcome you to everything that I'm doing. Please share this video with like-minded people that you think they might enjoy it. please subscribe. Click the subscribe button here. Click the bell if you want to get notifications when I release a new video. I do release a new one every Tuesday morning at 10 o'clock. So thanks again for joining me, and I'll see you next week.